One of the hardest truths to accept is this: good people do not always win in toxic systems. In fact, sometimes good people are the ones who get hit the hardest. Not because they are weak, not because they are naive, but because toxic systems often punish honesty, empathy, restraint, and good faith. And if you have ever wondered why doing the right thing did not protect you, this is for you. Welcome back to System versus Self. This channel is for people trying to survive hard systems without losing themselves. And today, we're talking about why good people get destroyed in toxic systems. Because a lot of people are walking around blaming themselves for damage that came from staying decent in an environment that rewarded something else. Good people assume fairness. Good people often enter situations assuming that truth matters, patterns matter, and if something is wrong, someone will eventually care enough to correct it. That belief makes sense in healthy environments. But toxic systems do not operate that way. Toxic systems often reward image over truth, compliance over honesty, politics over integrity, and endurance over healing. So, the person who is still trying to be fair, respectful, and transparent can end up becoming the easiest person to overrun. Because they are still playing by rules that the environment does not actually honor. Why goodness becomes a vulnerability. In the wrong environment, your strengths can be turned into openings. Your empathy becomes access. Your patience becomes delayed. Your willingness to explain becomes overexposure. Your desire to be fair becomes hesitation. Your conscience becomes something that slows you down while other people move without one. This is why so many good people get trapped in cycles of over-explaining, waiting for accountability, trying one more time, being the bigger person, and giving chances that the system has not earned. And meanwhile, the damage grows. Toxic systems train self-betrayal. One of the most dangerous things about toxic systems is that they do not just hurt you. They slowly train you to betray yourself. You start ignoring your instincts, dismissing red flags, shrinking your language, soften your boundaries, questioning your own memory, explaining obvious things to people committed to misunderstanding you. And eventually, you are no longer just dealing with the system. You are dealing with what surviving the system has started to do to your identity. That is where the real grief lives. Because many people do not just lose time in toxic systems, they lose pieces of themselves. Why the strongest people often suffer quietly. A lot of strong people are not loud about what they are carrying. They keep functioning. They keep showing up. They keep trying to make sense of what makes no sense. And because they are still standing, people assume they are fine. But internally, they are exhausted. That is another reason good people get destroyed in toxic systems. They often keep absorbing pressure long after the environment has proven it is unsafe. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they were taught that endurance is virtue. Sometimes endurance is virtue. And sometimes endurance is how damage becomes chronic. What has to change? At some point, a good person has to learn something painful but necessary. Being good is not the same as being undefended. You can be kind and still become clearer. You can be honest and still become harder to manipulate. You can be compassionate and still stop giving unlimited access. You can be decent and still refuse to be slowly erased. Healing in toxic systems often begins when you stop asking, "How do I prove I'm good?" and start asking, "What does protection look like here?" That shift matters. Because the goal is not to become cold. The goal is to stop confusing self-abandonment with goodness. What to remember if this is you? If you are someone who got hurt because you kept trying to do the right thing in the wrong environment, hear me clearly. Your goodness was not the problem. The problem was the environment. The problem was the people who exploited your good faith. The structures that rewarded distortion, the culture that punished truth, the pressure that kept asking you to give more than what was safe. Good people break in toxic systems not because they are flawed, but because they stayed human in places that treated humanity like a weakness. If this video finds you in that place, exhausted, disoriented, wondering how being sincere, fair, patient, or caring ended up hurting you, I want you to know this. You are not stupid. You are not weak. And you are not wrong for needing a different strategy now. Some systems do destroy good people, but awareness is where the rebuilding starts. And the more clearly you see the pattern, the less likely you are to keep offering yourself up to it. If this spoke to you, subscribe to System vs. Self. When you're ready, the Survival Playbook is linked below. Until then, protect your clarity and stop calling self-betrayal being good.